So, hello everybody. My name is Pratik. I work as a Business Central expert, and every week I try to bring a new video. Today's video is about a concept security group. This is a simple concept, but I think this implementation that has been done is quite interesting. So, let's continue with our video. I came across this thing with Business Central. So, Business Central, Microsoft has bought a new concept which is like security groups. Yeah. So, how I understand the feature, I will explain you. This feature tells you, okay, that you want to add some permissions. You go to Microsoft Entra, and from the Entra, you create some security groups, and then these security groups will be visible in your system. And then you can grant the permissions using this security group. So what happens is, you can read about security group online. Yeah, you will find a lot of information, but the concept that I am telling you here is a little bit different. So stay till the end, and then you will find it. So the thing is, we have this test YouTube. This is a security group that I created. Now you can add permissions in this security group, but you cannot add any members to this security group from here. So how does this works? You have to go to this Entra, and in the security group you can add the members, and the syncing will take some time. So it's not like NAV 2017 where you can just plainly go and add the permissions, but here the syncing takes time, and this is what we have to be aware about when we are using the new environment. So what happens is, or how I got interested into this topic was, for example, this is my user, okay, and now this user has the following permissions which have been added to him directly like the old school way, and then there is a permission from security group, and this is coming from the security group that I created here. Now my task was that I had to get a list which user had which permission, and now when I go, so the background table for this, what you see here, the background table for this is access control. When I go to access control, and then if I want to see what are the permissions of my user who has the security ID, this, so I have copied his security ID. I go here, and then I filter like this. Okay, I can see he has these many permissions, and these are also visible here. But now the question is, where is this permission? So if you get a task, you have to take out the permissions of this user, and you go to access control, you filter by user security ID, you will get all the permissions, but you will not get this permission. So this means your report is going to be not so correct. So now the question came to me, where is this permission? Now if I go here, let me show you how this is a visual mirage that Microsoft has created here. No, I don't want to do this. I want to do this. And for example, now let's see. For example, when I am looking here, in this you will see the security ID as this, and it is showing you that the table is access control. When you look here, it is again showing you access control, security ID here. So this means if I go to access control, I will filter with this security ID. I should get all these permissions and one additional permission that is called test tool. Okay, so we have this ID, this I already copied. Now I go here and I paste this filter here in the access control, and you can see the permission which is called test YouTube is not visible. Okay, now I said, okay, let's see how is the security group mapped. So I go to security group, and I can again see, okay, this is the security group. It is again mapped to security ID, and this one is again mapped to security ID, but unfortunately in my access control table this is not visible. So the thing is, Microsoft has written the code which builds this list depending on the user, on the security ID, but it is never visible in the table. So how do you find the permissions that are related to this user? So the thing is that Microsoft, what Microsoft has done, every security group has its own, wait, I will have to pause it because there is some problem. So I'm back. So what Microsoft has done, it has assigned this security group a group user ID or group user SID. Okay, so what happens now, if I go to access control table and if I put this thing here, okay, then I can see, okay, my permission set is mentioned here. But the question is, if you ever want to have all the permissions of this user by using his security ID, you will not be able to get them. So what you have to do is, every time you have to find the security groups that are assigned to the user. At first, with the access control and the user security ID, you will be able to find all the permissions that are assigned directly. For the permissions that are not assigned directly, you have to get the security group. From the security group, so you have to go to this table, and from the security group you have to get this group user SID. Now Microsoft has written its own code units, so because this is also a buffer, yeah, so Microsoft has written its own code units that are trying to get this. Yeah, if I get enough comments here, I will try to get or put the code that I use to get this detail. But yeah, Microsoft has put this in a buffer. And so what happens, this group user ID, the entry is created like this, and now somehow in the background every Microsoft app is checking for the permissions, the direct and the permissions from the security group. Now I also came across some apps that were not following this, and they explicitly want that the permissions are assigned directly. So my conclusion, yeah, what Microsoft is trying to do, I don't know if it makes sense or not. For them it may make sense, but in my previous organizations we always wanted to have a control of what permissions are assigned. So we created our own mechanism that whenever somebody is modifying the things here, we would pop a notification and we required them to enter some kind of reference. But now because Microsoft is doing everything with this security group, yeah, it's like I don't see that as a Dynamics developer I can modify something here. But yeah, this is something that I think should be improved. But yeah, so what is happening now, so basically every user has two permissions. One are direct permissions, one are permissions from the security group. When you go to the access control, and if you think you can get all the permissions of the user by just typing his user security ID, it won't work anymore, because now Microsoft is showing you like this, but in the table in the background it is maintaining the permissions in two groups, one with the user security ID and one with the security ID of the group. Yeah? So what happens, some apps fail because they are still looking for the permissions from the security group, and yeah, somehow Microsoft has managed it. But let's see how it progresses. I mean, yeah, it is working like this for past few years. Yeah, but so if you get a task that you have to get the permissions list of all the users, maybe you have your own workaround, please let me know if you have some workaround. But my fix to this was that I get the direct permissions and then I look for the security groups, and then based on the security group user ID I go to this table and then I filter, and then I have a combination of the direct and indirect permissions. So now this was everything from my side for this week. So wherever you are, have a nice day, nice morning, nice evening, and yeah, please do like, share and subscribe. This video took a lot of time for creation, because sometimes, yeah, this is also a problem, that sometimes security groups take time to sync, and then users are standing in front of you saying, yeah, I need the permissions, and somehow, yeah, this sometimes becomes difficult. My experience is takes easily 6 to 7 hours. I also saw some button to bring the permissions, but yeah, it maybe I need to analyze more on it. But yeah, this was the concept, and thank you for watching this video. Have a nice day, evening, afternoon or whatever. Thank you. Bye.